Fesseldon, and welcome to Broad Appeal, a show where we feature inspirational women who are writing and living by their own rules. And today we have Patricia Gervasi with us, who is going to talk to us about her business, Gervasi & Company. Welcome, Patricia. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Melissa.
So, you strike me as the type of person who's always loved doing hair and makeup and these sort of fun things. Did I misread you, or is that the case?
Nope, that's the case.
So, how did you get started with all of this?
I was young. I went to a vocational high school and took cosmetology and as a teenager.
Okay.
So I had my license before I graduated high school, and I went to JCPenney Hair Salon for a co-op. So that's where I started. And then my journey continued for 23 years now.
Only 23 years.
Only. It might be 24, actually.
And let me guess, like when you were a little kid, were you doing your doll's hair? Were you doing your friend's hair? Were you trying to do everyone's hair?
Barbie
did you mess up your own hair?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
What's the worst thing you did to your own hair?
Well, there was one Easter that me and my sisters cut our own bangs and jumping on the bed, which was pretty bad. So we wore Easter bonnets that year.
and
I think I was
6 months.
Like 6.
And then the dolls, I'm guessing. Is that a guess?
Yeah, the dolls, yes. There used to be a doll that you could like pull their hair out and then cut it. So I've been cutting hair forever.
Nice, nice. All right, did you bring any of those dolls for us today to see like some of your work? No, okay, good. So your first job was at JCPenney, or was that was the co-op?
It was a co-op, but it was my first job.
Yeah.
So instead of going to school on your senior year, you would go to the salon for 10 days. It was like a 10-day rotation, and then back to school for academics.
Okay,
so you'd go to
sort
school.
of like an internship, sort of.
Right, yes. It was just like a co-op program for high school students.
Yeah.
In the trades.
Sounds like fun, too.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I bet. So you started there, and then what happened after you got your initial training with the vocational school?
Once I had my training from the vocational school, I could then go out on my own. So I was living in Dartmouth, Massachusetts, where I grew up. And my father said, well, you have to go to the city if you really want to take this career to another level. Good
advice.
Right. Mm-hmm. So he brought me home the Boston Herald, and I looked at the Boston Herald and found a job, and they hired me the day I went in for the interview.
That's awesome.
It was pretty great, yeah.
That is pretty great.
So I traveled for 2 years, back and forth, like 134 miles a day. So I was pretty committed.
Yeah.
To the hairdressing and just being in the city. I loved working in the city. So I worked in downtown Boston for 14 years before I came to the burbs.
Wow. Do you miss it ever?
The city?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So you're in the burbs now,
I am.
But before you went out on your own, you were still in the burbs working for a different salon.
Yes. Right.
And then you decided to go out on your own.
Yeah. So when we moved to Milton, I was still working in town, and I was commuting back and forth, and the commute was pretty tough when you had an infant at home who one day he got sick and he had like 105 temperature, and it took me an hour and a half to get home. Yeah. And I thought, well, I can cut hair pretty much anywhere. So I was 35, and I decided to find a job in East Milton Square. Mm-hmm. And, then here I am. And it was literally, 5 years later, I was able to build the clientele large enough to support my own business. So I was grateful.
Which is a testament to your talent.
Right. Thank you.
It's so nice when you can take people with you, and that they're going to kind of follow you wherever you go. I mean,
True.
It is also the worst. It's your worst nightmare when your stylist goes somewhere and you don't know where they went. It's awful. So it's so fantastic that all these people have been following you.
Yes. Yes, I am grateful. And when I left the city, I thought, sure enough, I was going to have to rebuild myself.
Right.
But I still have clients that I've had for 22 years from like when I started. Yeah. When I came to Boston, I met them, and I was 20 years old. So, and they're still coming to me.
That's
which
amazing.
Is great. And people come and go, but what I've definitely noticed being a salon owner now, that being in the suburbs, if I would have known the suburbs were as loyal and as lucrative as they are, I would have left the city a long time ago.
Right. So anyone listening to that, like if you're getting into this career, you can come to the burbs. It's totally fine. So now when did you start Gervasi & Company? When did you start that business?
It was 3 years ago.
Okay.
I opened. It was May 25th, 2015.
Quick math.
I know.
Get the calculator out. So when you did that, how does it compare to working for somebody else? I mean, Do you like it? Would you ever go back? Do you like it way better now?
Oh, I love being a business owner. I was renting a chair at Flip Hair Salon, which is another hair salon here in Milton.
Here in town.
Stephen Pierce and he's the owner of Flip. And I worked for him on Newbury Street like when I was 25 years old. So that was the connection with me and Stephen. So when I found out that he was opening Flip, I wanted to rent a chair, and I gave him an option. I came to him and I asked him if I could rent a chair, which he doesn't do. But because of our background, we knew each other, and I knew a lot of people in town. I was already established here.
Right.
I helped him build his business too. I mean, we would run the Monster Dash, my husband and I, and the kids, and we had Flip T-shirts on. You know,
right.
So I was
you're
able to promote his business.
It's kind of interesting because you could almost see it as like not a partnership, but sort of like working towards something like that, like working towards.
So the goal of me being at Flip was to help promote his business because I was a member of the women's club and I knew a lot of people in town, and my children went to school there. So that was good for him to get a stylist that was busy and someone from the town to bring people into his business that he just opened, and now they're doing great.
Yeah.
So, I was at Flip for 2 years, and I saw, all my clients going to the other stylists. And I thought, well, I think I need to do this on my own because, this was my overflow. So I couldn't accommodate all my customers, so they were going to the other stylists.
Right. So it's almost like a natural sort of transition.
It is. It's definitely natural. And that's the nature of the business. So like any stylists that are renting chairs, they're eventually going to open their own business because renting a chair is great. Mm-hmm. However, and it puts a lot of money in your pocket.
Yeah.
However, it's tiring and it's labor intensive. It's hard work. So you eventually want to take less time and still make the money that you're accustomed to, but having somebody else make it for you.
Right. Always a good thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your training. So you get your initial training and you get your initial job. Is that it? Like, are you done there?
No.
You're trained. I got my, I've got my degree, and here I go. I'm going to style hair now for the rest of my life.
Absolutely not.
No,
that's not how it goes.
Okay.
No.
How does it go?
Okay, so it's important to have extended education. And so if you were interviewing from me and wanting to be a member of my team, education is a must. Extended education. I'm a Matrix educator.
Okay.
Matrix is a company that L'Oreal is like the leading cosmetic company in the nation, and they own Matrix.
Okay.
So I'm an educator for Matrix. So when someone's interviewing with me, I let them know that I'm an educator and I'm going to educate you and teach you how I want, the quality of your work to be.
So you're like a hair professor.
Yeah.
You're like a hair professor.
So what I do for Matrix is I go out to other salons or schools, and I teach them what Matrix has taught me.
Right.
So I'm grateful to work for them, and that's why I work for them, is because I'm able to go to these trainings nationwide. I mean, we've gone to Cancun and New York City, and
it's terrible. How terrible for you.
I know. I mean, some amazing places just to get trained on the most current trends.
Right.
So we'll have one coming up in August for our mid-year.
Where's that, Paris?
No, I think it's New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Nothing against New Jersey.
No,
they have a nice shore.
Yes. But they keep us up to date on the current trends, which is the most important. And then I can come back and bring it back to my staff.
And your clients and their clients.
Right. So any stylist that if they're just getting out of school, like, you do not throw that mannequin head away. Keep that mannequin head. Keep all your tools that you got from school because you're going to be using those mannequin heads.
Right.
I still use them.
Amazing.
I still practice with them.
Amazing. How long do they last?
Until you cut all their hair off.
It's like the Barbie.
Right. So it's very important to keep up on the current trends just because, now with Pinterest, everybody,
you have to be on it.
One click away. And I remember being in downtown Boston, and it was when ombre first started. And someone was looking at a magazine, and they're like, do you know how to do this? And I had no idea what it was until I went to work for Matrix. And
what'd you do when they asked you?
I said, it just looks like her hair's grown out. Like, it just looks like her roots have grown out.
Because at the time.
Right, and it's like all new growth, and then it was just blonde. And that was probably 15 years ago,
Yeah.
So I now enjoy, getting educated as much as I do and being able to bring it back to my staff because I know anything you show me on Pinterest, we can do. At Gervasi & Company, we know.
I've seen your Instagram, and I look at it, and I'm like, It's so beautiful. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that.
Well, you're not. Like
that looks high maintenance.
So all those, like all these fashion colors that people are using, like this pink, this is Overtone, a product that I love, and we can give people that are already pre-lightened these awesome trendy colors. So when you're saying you're too old for that, you're not. I mean,
yay.
I have this wonderful customer. Her name's Anne Marie, and she would love to hear her name on TV. But Anne Marie's amazing, and she puts this pastel pink in her hair. And you know, she's a mature woman,
right?
And she just has like little shoots of pink hair coming out.
Okay, okay, I gotta disclose this.
Yes.
I had pink in my hair for a while.
Yes, I remember that. And it was great.
But it was just in the back. So that's the thing that I guess you can get away with if you're of a certain age. Maybe just pops of it, like little sort of secret, like, hey, oh, is that? Yeah.
Right, and then you're still on trend. You
right.
know? You're not too old.
Without trying too hard.
Right, and you're not trying too hard. You know, don't get me
you
wrong.
Would tell me. I know you would tell me.
Fuchsia and purple. Full head of hair, like
which
a 22-year-old, which they can totally get away with, and is so fun and beautiful.
Yeah.
I would say, well, Melissa, maybe tone it down a little bit.
But it is super fun, and it's so great that, like you said, people can come in and be like, saw this on Pinterest, saw this on Pinterest, saw this on Pinterest, and you can be like, yeah, I can do that. Maybe tailor it for you based on what you know, because you have such a wealth of knowledge. About all the latest, greatest.
Yeah, we really do at Gervasi and Company. It's about the quality of the work. You know, it's not quantity, it's quality.
Right.
And sometimes, like those fashion colors, it may take 4 hours, it may take 6 hours.
Yeah.
Just to pre-lighten someone, they'll be there all day.
Right.
You know, and
it's an investment.
It really is with your time and money.
Yeah.
You know, because it's expensive too. So when girls are walking around like, oh, I want that hair, they have to really want to invest the time and the money into getting that hair.
So when someone has, what do they call it? Is it galaxy hair? Or, I don't know.
Galaxy?
Where it's like lots of different colors.
Balayage?
Yeah, maybe it's that. Where it's colorful, like colorful hair.
Oh, sure.
Like, for lack of a better term, rainbow hair.
Right.
How did people stay up on that? Like, if I said to you, first of all, if I were 22, and I said, Patricia, I want to do this rainbow hair, unicorn hair. What would you tell me in terms of like, okay, this is what you're getting into?
Right. Well, they first have to pre-lighten their hair.
Okay, so it's got to be bleached.
It has to be blonde. We like to call it lightener, not bleach. Yeah.
Very, very blonde.
Very blonde.
Okay.
They should be platinum blonde.
Okay, platinum blonde.
Platinum blonde too. So you have a clean palette, basically.
Okay.
It's like a canvas.
Okay, that makes sense.
So as you know, because you're an artist, so it's like having a clean palette.
You got to whitewash the canvas.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Absolutely. And then you can put in like these different colors with the overtone. I love them. They come in like teal, purple, pink, and so whatever color you choose, whether it's like you can do like a color melting technique where you're putting pink on the top and you blend it down with some clear, and then it's more pastel, so you can go from like fuchsia to like a hot pink to like a pastel
reverse
pink.
ombre or something.
It's just called the color melt.
So cool.
So you first have to pre-lighten, which can take multiple visits to the salon to do, depending how dark your hair is.
Okay.
But for you, where you're already blonde, we could literally just put we can make your hair rainbow in probably 2 hours because you're already pre-lightened.
And
so it depends on what canvas you're working with.
Okay, so but then you got your rainbow hair.
Yes. How do you
What's
keep up
the
with
maintenance like?
The maintenance, it's high maintenance. It's you have to use the daily conditioners, like I'm saying again, bringing up overtone. Those will enhance the color.
Okay.
So we can make your color, and then you have to keep it up with using the color conditioners.
Okay.
Or come back into the salon so we can refresh your ends, which in 3 weeks after shampooing or swimming or salt water, it's going to be faded in 3 weeks. So it is the investment and a lot of time, but it doesn't last.
Right.
Those fashion colors don't last.
Also really cool and maybe worth it.
Right.
Right. At the end of the day,
absolutely. So
really cool and maybe worth it.
Yeah. And if you only want it for 8 weeks, well, then that's all you need it for.
Right. And change it up and maybe do something else and have a little fun, right? Live a little?
Little. Yes.
Hey everybody, we are here at the Yellow Door Taqueria in Lower Mills, and we are talking with Katrina today, and she is going to give us a taste of one of her new drinks that she's trying out. So tell us about this fabulous new drink.
So all of our drinks here on our current menu are all tequila and mezcal based, agave spirits, kind of to go with the theme of being a Mexican restaurant. But we want to change things up a little bit for spring and summer. So one of the cocktails that I've been working on that hopefully will be on the spring menu is a gin-based cocktail that uses Saint Germain, lavender bitters, and then lemon juice and simple syrup. So it's kind of like a lavender lemonade with gin and Saint Germain. So
refreshing,
yeah,
pretty.
Super refreshing,
All
super
right.
pretty.
Let's do it.
All right,
So how do we start? What do we put
So we start with 1.5 ounces of gin. I've been using Beefeater.
Okay.
And which is kind of just our well gin here. So we use 1.5 ounces of Beefeater.
Awesome. Easy. Okay.
Easy.
What's next?
Next we do 1/2 ounce of Saint Germain.
Okay.
Which is
lovely.
elderflower liqueur. It's super delicious.
Super
goes with
versatile.
everything.
Yep.
So
That's one of my
1/2 ounce
favorites.
of that.
Okay.
We use a few shakes of this Barkeep lavender bitters. And so bitters are kind of like an ancient medicinal sort of alcoholic substance that you just use a lot of.
Okay.
I mean, you just use a little of. I'm sorry, because it has
You
a
use it
lot.
often.
Because it has a lot of alcohol in it.
You use a little often.
I'll use a little often.
Okay.
Exactly. So
yeah, you said that's
I
like
use just
40...
like a few shakes of this. This is 48% alcohol.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, so you don't need too much of it.
Okay.
Then I use 1 ounce of lemon juice.
Which you fresh squeeze here.
Fresh squeeze it downstairs.
Awesome.
And our house-made simple syrup, which is really just like sugar water.
About...
We use 1/2 ounce of that. And that's kind of like how you would make lemonade by hand here as well. Would be like
the syrup,
the simple syrup, and lemon juice.
Okay.
Exactly. Ice it up. Shake.
super refreshing. What's your recommended shake time?
I usually do anywhere from like 30 to 50 shakes, depending on how fast I'm shaking and how much time
how long
I really
you've been
have.
here. All right.
And then this one I serve in a Collins glass. Nice, refreshing summer drink. And just ice that up and strain it in.
And it looks so pretty. It looks like lemonade.
It does look like lemonade.
With some extra fun added in. I can't wait.
Exactly. And then today I'm just gonna garnish this with some dried lavender and a dehydrated lemon wheel, which we just dehydrate in-house downstairs by putting it in the oven for a while. We just slice them up really thin, put them in the oven, and
dehydrate away.
Dehydrate away.
All right.
And
it looks so pretty. Let's give it a whirl. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for meeting with us today and for making us this special lavender lemonade. If you'd like to enjoy your own, come on down to the Eldora Taqueria in Lower Mills. And now it's not on the menu right now, but it may be. And if it's not, people can just ask you for it. Right?
Exactly. Can just say, I saw that lavender lemonade and I want to give it a try.
All right, fantastic. Visit the
Yellow
Door and have a cocktail. Thank you, everybody. So you brought some other products for us. You have, I want to know about your favorite products. Like you've been doing this forever. You have tons of experience. And I noticed you also carry different lines. So you're not like fully like, oh, well, I only sell this line or this line or this line. You have favorites from all over the place.
Yeah, so I like to keep it like a range. You know, I do have my favorites. I like to keep, there's my high-end favorites.
Right.
They're in the middle of my road favorites.
So something for
They're
everyone.
my favorites for children. You know, like I love the fairy tales. It's been around forever.
You have told me that.
But it works. My kids never have had lice, and I use it on them, and that's why I sell it. I love it.
Yeah. Plus, it smells really good.
And it's less at my salon than it is at CVS. You know, it is.
Oh, nice. So your salon is like, what, like 4 blocks from CVS or something like that?
Right.
So yeah, okay, that's
totally
good to know.
That. But yeah, so these Living Proof is one of my absolute favorites. Why? Because it's local. You know,
I didn't know that.
MIT developed it. They started it.
Wait, MIT develops hair products.
Hair products, yep. So there were scientists at MIT developed this hair product, and Jennifer Aniston became their their spokesperson.
Well,
So they teamed up together
sucks,
to
so
be able
just
to
kidding.
market it. They were smart.
Yeah.
She's not their marketing president, I guess that's what they called her.
Okay.
Anymore. But they didn't need her anymore because
now
it's global now. But these are my favorites. So this
Okay.
is Humidity Shield, and it's for frizz.
Wait a minute. What's that? I don't know what frizz is. So for those of you who have some frizz, this is apparently
This is the product
what you want.
You want to use. After you blow dry, it protects any style. So even if you wore your hair curly and you just didn't want it to get bigger, you could spray this on and it lasts.
That's
like 24 hours.
awesome.
And then
really good to know.
Yeah, and then this one is the instant protection. It's a UV protection, and it protects your hair up to 450 degrees for thermal styling. So you can spray it on wet hair and style your hair, or you can use it after your hair is completely finished when you're out in the sun, and you can spray it so your hair color doesn't fade when
Totally
you're at the beach.
versatile.
Yeah.
It sounds like something you would ideally want in your beach bag along with your sunscreen.
You definitely want this in your beach bag.
I think I need that in my beach bag.
Well, there you go. That's for you, my dear. And I also
forgot
have
my
another
beach bag.
One. But you can put it in when you get home. But this product I really wanted to give to you. It's called Twisted Boho, and this is my Matrix product, so I have to,
Yeah, I've never
push a
heard of
little
this,
bit
and
Matrix.
I'm like super excited to learn about it.
So a lot of product lines have come out with air dry products, and this is their product. It's called Twisted Boho. And
for those of us with curly hair,
curl
like air
defining.
dry is so nice
Yeah.
because
And you only need a little bit of this product, and it goes a long way. So honestly, this is all you need for your whole entire head.
oh, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
that will last like years.
Yeah,
Basically.
this will last you a year. And then you want to really emulsify it in your hands
Okay.
before, and then you want it when your hair is soaking wet. And then just tip your head upside down and scrunch. Scrunch
Yeah.
it like you would normally do. But it's almost, you want to emulsify it where you don't even see it in your hand.
Okay.
And then you'll really evenly distribute it throughout the head.
That sounds
Rather
amazing.
than putting like a big glob and then
doing it,
sticking it in your hair.
What is it, like the Aussie scrunchy style from the
Right.
80s?
But that's what's going to, give you that curl define.
Yeah,
So
that
you definitely
sounds
still want to scrunch.
amazing.
with
So
it. So this is for you too, Melissa.
this is like, this is so
My
great.
two favorite
I'm
products.
only hosting people from now on that give me things. That's it. That's final. So, okay, so the UV spray, awesome for the beach bag, and
Yeah.
you keep that in stock?
We do. Yep. Especially
Okay.
this time of year.
And that, yeah. And the humidity spray, I mean, these are good to have all the time, I feel like. Just something
Yeah.
like a go-to product. Toothpaste.
Right.
Plus your...
Especially because we're in New England. So
exactly.
humidity frizz. And then
Yeah. I mean, you can... I get that in February. So.
I know, because you're naturally curly.
Right.
So the air drying is great. The air dry product is great for you, like in the summer months in the fall.
Right.
And then, when you do blow out in, say, the winter time where you actually go get a blowout or you blow it out yourself, then you definitely want to use the heat protectant spray for blowing it out and the humidity shield so your blow dry lasts longer.
This is great. This is like a go-to. And it's so nice because, all these products are so overwhelming. There's so many things out there that we can all use,
Right.
and it's so nice to be like, you know what? These are kind of like the good ones. These are like my go-tos. These are the good ones. And I know that someone could come into your salon and do the same thing, like walk in and be like, listen, fix this.
me, right? And that's
what do I do?
Right.
Please. And I know you'll be like, okay, just sit down, hang on, have a cup of coffee. I'll be
Right.
right there, and I'm
Right.
gonna fix that. So just before we wrap up, because this is such great information, I'm just curious, what is the worst thing? One of the good things is people can use these things, the UV spray, the humidity spray, especially I feel like the UV spray, because that's like preventive. But what's the worst thing someone can do to their hair? Or the top two?
I would have to say there's two.
Okay.
Coloring it themselves.
Coloring it
at
themselves.
home.
So,
Because
but there's all those boxes at CVS.
correct, but they're not customized
Okay.
to the person's hair, and that as hairstylists, that's what we do. Now it's a general product in that box. It's a 20 volume developer, and it's a level 1 through 10 in that box. Where as hairstylists, we have developers that are 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. And then we are able to customize it for what you really want to achieve. A lot of people think that they see a picture on the box and that they have brown hair and they want to be a blonde.
And that will be
It's
them.
not going to make them blonde.
Right.
And then that's
It
where...
made them orange.
And then I fix it. So it's actually good. And
Right.
cutting your own bangs. That's a big no-no. So it would be using a box color and cutting your own bangs.
Okay, so people watching this, no.
Well, we give complimentary bang trims at the salon.
Oh, awesome.
So you don't go out and cut your own bangs. Just come on in, even if you're a customer or not, we will give you a complimentary bang trim.
Like, you just don't want that for people.
Right, and men too, we do neck cleanups. So like their sideburns and they shave their neck. So say they're going to a wedding and they just had a haircut 2 weeks ago.
Right.
They can pop into the salon, we'll just shave their neck. So they're nice and clean.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And
it makes them come back.
Well, yeah, but plus it's nice. So, you know, like, oh no, I need this. This is not working out. It hasn't been working out. I can't go to my regular person. I don't have time, whatever. They can just pop right in.
Yep. And there's always someone available to be able to do, a bang trim or a neck cleanup.
That's a really nice service.
Yeah, we thrive on like trying to cater to our customers. We're a small boutique style salon, but you know, we take pride in our work, and we don't want you to go home and cut your own bangs when you're walking around saying Gervasi and Company did my hair and you cut your own bangs.
No, I totally get it. So if someone wanted to, first of all, you have an Instagram.
I do.
And it's got all sorts of like beautiful things.
Thank you.
What is it? If someone wanted to follow it?
Oh, it's Gervasi and Company, all one word.
Gervasi, ANDCO.
Nope. No? Gervasi, ANDCOMPANY.
Okay.
It's the whole name.
Okay, Gervasi and Company. And you keep that updated. I see new things on there all the time. So it's kind of neat. It's like your own private Pinterest.
Yeah, and we do sales all the time. So if you guys are following us on Instagram, daily we'll have a sale.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so that's one way where people can check out what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And we also will say, like, if I have an availability opening and I had a cancellation, I'll say, Patricia has a 5 o'clock available. I always fill it in that way.
Right.
So thanks to my followers that are my customers.
Well, that's fantastic, because you know how sometimes, I'm really bad about this, where I'm like, I don't book my stupid appointments in advance, and then I panic because my hair looks awful. And, so
and you have some place to go.
Right. You see that, and you can be like, oh, she's got a 5 o'clock. I can figure that out. I can pop in. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
And so beyond that, if people wanted to check that out, that's awesome. So what are other ways, like if people want to come in and see you, where are you? How do they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So you can check out our website, which is gco-milton.com or gco-quincy.com.
Okay.
And you can book online, or you can call the salon.
Okay.
Or you can even personal message us on Facebook or Instagram too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways where people get a hold of you, and that online booking is so handy.
Yeah, it's great. The one thing with the online booking, though, you have to book 24 hours in advance.
Okay.
So if you want an appointment that day, you should probably just call the salon or text us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Melissa. Thank you.